Hello, this is Karola Sakotnik speaking. Yes, and it's time for Monday after lunch coffee. With the leadership transformation, that's the topic. It's future skills farming. Yes, and I'm welcoming you to another series of this. I'm still taken by what happened on the 28th of August in Future Skills Farming. We had our first Leadership Transformation Summit. And I would say it was a big success. I mean, people are giving us feedback. They really enjoyed it. Also, the combination of how we decided to activate senses and stay in touch with this human being, and also tackling this digitization or digitalization aspect we are all working in, was a big success for them, and also a big, very, very positive input. So today I want to introduce two of our speakers, and we'll put the YouTube link for you at your disposition so you can see what they said about it. But first, let me tackle a bit the topics, what they were talking about. The first session was about fear and panic, how to work with fear, what fear does for us, and how to train yourself to react in panic situations still safe, because fear is a lot connected to safety. And then we're going into conflict. And the two speakers I'm going to introduce to you today is Pierre Kallanian and Usha Devarajan, and both are tackling the topic of conflict. But let me go to fear, because fear and conflict are really interconnected. Fear is something for us human beings that warns us. So it usually saves our life. So it's good to listen when you are afraid of something, and please stop avoiding this emotion because you don't like it, or because it might seem that you are weak or something. It's not. It's warning us, and it's saving our life. Sometimes, although, and this is what we know, is fear is not a good counselor, because it takes us away from the options, from the possibilities. So it's good to know which fear type you are. There are 4 of them, but to make it short, just, are you one who is, when you are afraid, are you attacking the others? Are you trying to hide? Are you trying to run? Or what is your mode of dealing with the situation? And just be clear with it, because whenever you are in a panic, in a really extreme fear situation, this type of yourself will come out. So are you a fighter, a flighter, or one who is hiding, or just standing still? This would be the 4th one. Yeah, I forgot the one before. So standing still is also an option, that you just freeze. Still, have you ever just considered, and this is one of the tips, accept your fear. Accept your fear and be thankful with your fear that it is warning you, and then see what's happening. Conflict usually comes in when you are a fighter. Well, actually with all four types. If you are 2 different types of fear, and you wanted to talk about something, and you're dealing with the situation completely different, usually the other doesn't feel heard, and so on. So conflict gets in there very quickly. And it's always a question of how to deal with this situation. Do you accept that the other person is different, or have you a hard time? Just to see, yeah? And then also, are you a good listener? In meetings, bringing it down to business. One is personal, and just be aware. I had a good conversation with a colleague the other day, and he said, well, because development is always about the person, about the human being, and not about the worker, the employee. No, you don't develop as an employee. You develop as a human being. So be aware of that too. So it's always interconnected. But in meetings, let's go to a meeting, leadership transformation. All of a sudden, fear comes in, or you experience it yourself, or you observe someone else reacting in fear, in a defense mode. Like, fear leads to defense. And how are you defending yourself? Standing still, running, fighting, or making yourself invisible? What is your mode? What is the mode of the other? Again here, so what are you doing with this? And there courage comes in, because I wrote about, we have fear, we have conflict, and we have courage. And courage is sometimes also being bold. You know, my slogan, being boldly human, deals a lot with these three things. How do you do that? How do you transform a situation that might be fearful, full of conflict, into something that is a source of creativity, a source of seeing a vision, a source of creating something, because that is possible. And especially in business, this would be nice. And this boldness, no, it's not attacking. It's not taking too much courage into the situation. It's more, how can you deal with it gently, mindful? Mindful also implies loving yourself, loving the other in a true and honest approach to the situation, and gentleness. It's very, very fruitful. Our two speakers, they tackled that with two other approaches, which I just want to make you curious and invite you to visit my YouTube channel. Pierre Kallanian, he was talking about, on one hand, his epic model, which is a lot of curiosity, playfulness, insight, and connection. So you explore, you play, you gain insights of that, and you go into connection with each other. And then he wrote a book about what to learn in leadership from parenting adolescents, because they're really trying to find out limits. And then Usha Devarajan, she is a conflict transformation coach, and she's working through dialogue. How to lead a dialogue that transforms conflict, maybe just into disagreement, acknowledging two points of views, and out of that, maybe developing a third agreement, a third point of view, or a solution to the situation. And that is very, very creative. So this is my Monday after lunch briefing. I also invite you on, now in September, the Leadership Transformation Challenge starts in English. It's 21 days. You have 30 minutes every day for yourself. You get input, and 2 times a week we meet live and we exchange, and you also get some live input, because that's different. You know, activating the senses is not something you learn only by yourself. You need another human being. And we can do that on a digital way, yes. Be curious, stay tuned, and dare to transform your leadership, because we need creative, wise, humorous people to generate a world worth living in. And I think that's what we deserve, right? So stay tuned. Yours, have a good day.